Welcome to Woman of the Week. I'm so thrilled to sit down and get inside the head of one Alaine Portner. I hold in my hot little hand here her medium memoirs, Messages of Love, Hope, and Reunion. Alaine is a medium, a gifted medium. She's also a yogi, a teacher, spiritual guide, many things to many people. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, how did you know that you had this gift?
Well, knowing the gift as a youngster, I recognized it through what I heard as a spirit kind of connecting to me when I was actually lost in the forest. And that's kind of explained in the book, but I actually believe that we know that we hear, sense, and feel things when we are quite lost because we're looking and we're searching. And so sometimes there's a confirmation for all of us at some level of awareness. So that was just my connection to a world that I couldn't see, but I could feel. And then it moved itself into many different fields, even sales in the corporate world, and then, owning a yoga center and allowing others the invitation into the spiritual or world of devotion and feeling that through their bodies, through the yoga. And then what happened is it began to work its way through meditations, and then guests started to arrive in the meditations, and it made perfect sense to those that were sitting with me that I could confirm what that person looked like or felt like or their name or something like that to them because it was around them. So that's kind of how it worked its way into loving reunions, because that's probably what we were all searching for, is that connection and that relationship and love. And so this was a possibility of bringing those families together with a psychic sense, but purposeful in the life worth living.
Yoga is such a great space by which to communicate with anyone, anytime. You really do center. Just discovered it recently, so I'm all in. Of course, it's doing wonders for you, darling. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Alaine Portner is my guest. Where are you from originally?
Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
She's a Jersey girl.
That's it.
With a gift of connecting you to loved ones that are no longer here, but she suspects in some way are here all the time. So I'm a little bit of a skeptic. How do you deal with people who are not open?
I love skeptics.
Uh-oh.
I love them because I have to feel at some level I was one too. Not so much with this, but with anything, because I don't believe anything until I experience it, even through a book. It's not until I have my own personal experience does it come alive in me, in mind, body, and spirit. So I have to embrace that with skeptics that might come to me, having their own thoughts and belief systems and honoring them, yet the ability for me to move them into a different place. And I understand that through my sessions, through their responses, through their awe and their shock, that they are moving their mind into different places, which is hugely important for overall health, right? We don't always want to think what we think. We really want to open up our minds to different thought.
And Media Memoirs actually addresses that, because a lot of your friends and family were skeptics going in. And lo and behold, you were able to change their minds and really get them to open up in a lot of different chapters. So I would recommend this book, Media Memoirs, Messages of Love, Hope, and Reunion by Jersey girl Alaine Portner. How can people find you? Do you go on the road and talk to people and do sessions?
Yes, I have many of the sessions held at my yoga center of Medford. And I've taken the time in the last couple of years to give back to other yoga centers. Having a yoga center for 20 years, I've hosted a lot of facilitators on many different subjects. And now I go back to other yoga centers and give back to them in a sense by awakening kind of their community into some metaphysical studies and education. So I've done that. And I'm also doing some home visits. And then I have something exciting coming up in a hotel in the Poconos. So it's starting to take its way into that, in reaching all different types of audiences and formats. This is a couples weekend in the Poconos, but if for sure you're living life with a partner, and so you're bringing yourselves into awareness and consciousness. And so when it's done that way, it's a little bit more user-friendly and less...
I'm not worried about who my partner is talking to in the afterlife. I'm more worried about who they're talking to on the internet. Just saying.
Sometimes that happens.
My guest, you are absolutely lovely. I have found, and this is just my theory, that children are so open to seeing spirits. When I was house hunting, my son was very young, and my niece, who lived with me at the time, swore that in a couple of different places that we visited, they felt the spirits. Is that our children more open?
Yes, you said it best. They are. And they are that way for a number of reasons. They have less distraction, first of all. And sometimes even the baby's the top of their head isn't even fused yet. So some people consider that almost like a channel or a portal for their awareness. And they'll talk about things when they're younger because they see things, but yet when they get older, they talk less about it. So I do believe that they are more sensitive. And I also believe that the generations coming, some of them are called rainbow children or crystal children, they're actually stimulated in different ways because they can handle, they can can multitask. So because of that, they're able to feel, sense, again, and know things that as adults we either block ourselves to or generationally we weren't there. So I do believe that's very, very true. And I'm, don't be skeptical with the children.
Well, since I admitted to being a little bit of a skeptic, we brought in our afternoon guy, Rich DeSisto. He's a Jersey boy, and this is a perfect marriage of Jersey love right here. Since you, Alaine, are a Jersey girl, we thought you two, maybe you could do a little bit of a reading, see if we can connect Rich to whomever it is he might be looking for.
Sure. So what happens in my style, because it's really different than other people's style. And so what I do is, because it's a allotted quick time, right?
Yeah.
I'll need to just sit a little bit with you, and I will probably ask you some questions.
Okay.
And when I do that, what happens is the spirits kind of multitask themselves. So I may be reaching towards something that is a multitasking. It might actually call out to somebody here, or it might actually be the person on the other side. So just go with what comes to you. It's best also, if it doesn't come to you right away, to say, I'm not sure yet, because the truth is I have everybody write everything down afterwards so they can go back and read their notes, because they're usually in a different frame of mind or they're nervous. And so they don't really understand the language right away. So it's best to not push the spirit away, because I really just amplify what's going on in your world. I'm just another volume that's turned up. So you might not know that yet, but you will later. So that's my point in just sitting with you now. Okay. So I would just ask you just broadly, if it's okay, if there is somebody that you wanted to get in touch with. And it's best if you don't say their name.
Absolutely.
There is. Okay. So that may or may not happen. I'll take a few moments to just sit with you, if that's okay.
Of course.
Okay, let's just go with a few things, if it's okay.
Sure.
I may take it deeper. I'm not sure. Right?
Sure.
You feeling anything yourself?
I'm very anxious.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, take a deep breath. So what happens often is that your body remembers what your mind forgets. And so sometimes it could even be a relative that you haven't met or something. Just know that, so we can expand the range of connection. Because what happens is that if you really wanted them to tell you like what you had for lunch yesterday, the truth is that they could, because I've done 4,000 readings. And so I really, I think that's mundane information, but for some people, that's what they need to hear to validate.
It's more of a connection for them. Yeah.
But I'm not fluffy. I like to go for the intensity of your journey, your soulful path.
Yeah.
So it's not just who shows up, but it's what they're saying that makes the difference to me.
Right.
Okay. It feels like it does to you too, because you can go that distance in your belief systems. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Yes.
So let's just talk a little bit, because I work with confirmations. So if this makes sense, then that makes sense too. That's how I work.
Okay.
So what I want to do is just reach in a little bit and get some confirmations.
Okay.
So I would easily say to you, the month of April, okay, or the number 4 is really significant. So can you talk to me about that, whether that is a birthday, a day of departure, or somebody that's shouting here? Talk to me about who that is first.
My
please.
friend John passed away.
Okay, he passed away in April.
Yep, early April.
Okay. Was it actually the 4th or around that? Was it a single digit number?
It was the 3rd.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay, were you reaching to him? Is that person that you wanted? And here's the J. I have the H and the J, so he's the J for the John. Okay.
One of two people who I was thinking about.
Yeah, male figure for sure. Okay, so John comes in. He's kind of like laughing a little bit. I guess you shared a lot of good times with him. He seems like he was a real good buddy, right? Like kind of like a guy that you like to hang out with, right? Because he's coming back that jovial, which is really good for you to know. It's very important the way that they come back, because, it's okay, sweetheart. So, okay, we always get the tissues and put them in between you and I.
That's pretty extraordinary that, Alaine, you're kind of blowing our minds right now, because you pulled that out of thin air. I can tell you people emphatically that you two just met. We came over from the kitchen. Honestly, I thought Rich would want to hear from someone else.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate John coming into the fray.
Okay, but what's so beautiful is he can feel him and we can all feel him.
We can all feel him.
Yeah, because I got the chills everywhere.
But I feel like he's doing okay.
Beautiful.
I don't know if Rich is going to be okay.
I'm all right. You have a tissue or something?
Yeah, we need that. So moving on, not moving on, but moving through. Sure. Okay, this is really important, because what we want to know is that we often feel them around us. And I'm just validating that for you, and so symbolically he is around you. And the way that he comes in is so hearty. It's so hearty. He just likes seeing you, and he kind of comments that he loves, seeing you plugging away, is quote unquote, he calls it plugging away. But he sees how you approach things as plugging away, like that earnest worker, right? Serving people for sure, but almost a little bit more behind the scenes in serving them. And I feel like that he was able to recognize that in you, whether he did that himself or just saw you as that, and that kind of bonded the friendship too. I also see a little bit of, again, this, I don't know if this is him or the other gentleman that you were trying to reach, probably more, not less than a brotherly figure, more like a fatherly figure with any kind of heart condition. So is there somebody that had that, please? Talk to me about that.
My dad.
Yeah, thank you. So he has a sounding in his name. Okay, but is it, there's a huh. He's reaching out to a huh. Is there somebody connected to him with the H sound, please? Maybe he's somebody he's calling to here, who he's connected to. You have any siblings and any lovers of his with a...
No, think of anybody.
Okay, that's all right now. We're just going to stay with this for a little bit, okay? So there's also something that you might carry from your friend John with you.
His ashes. Not physically with me, but we're trying to finish his wishes of spreading his ashes.
Right. So he says that like it's like a song in your heart that you have for him. And maybe it's the way that you're looking to spread the ashes, like not really certain. But here's the beauty of this all. And he references like a Broadway show, which is interesting. You know, these might have references to you that I don't know about. It would take a little bit longer to get to it. But just take this for the way that it is and the words that it's offered, right? Because like life is that show a little bit. And being in the technical end or something of all these radio shows or something, or plugging in. You understand what I'm speaking about, yes?
Yep.
Okay, good. So what happens is that now that we've reached to him, and you have on your own, I'm just here to support that, is that he will guide you as to what to do with it, okay? Don't be surprised if he guides you close to water, okay? Mm-hmm. That may happen in a place that he cherishes and a place that you can also. So, and it's free flowing, which is really important. It's not like he wants to be tucked away next to one tree. I think he feels his spirit as light. I think that you can too. And I think that he will guide you to that. So he's available for you to designate his place of, not passing, but place of sharing, I think is the way that he says that. Is that okay?
Sure.
You understand all that? Yeah. So no worries, because he'll talk to you directly about it. You'll be guided. So yeah, you're going
Alaine,
with a couple other people.
You're awesome. You really are. We're running out of time.
Sure, that's fine.
And plus, I don't have any more tissues. And I'm afraid if we open up the other portal, it might be a little tough. But you know what? We're all coming to your place, Alaine, because we know where to find you at www.alaineportner.com. You can even email her at alaineportner@comcast.net. I will put those links right up at our website, which is ilikeben.fm.com. I really dig your vibe. It was very cool to see you work. And I'm going to admit to you now that I'm not at all a skeptic. I just didn't want to cry on the radio.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasures.
I made Rich do it. I did it a couple of weeks back because I had the folks
I have no shame in shedding tears.
Well, you know what? I did it when the folks from the suicide prevention came in, because I had lost a friend to suicide. And honestly, I'd love to channel her. I really would. I promise you, we'd love to do something with you. You know, I do these great Woman of the Week lunches, and, you know, maybe we could have you come out.
I would love it. It's a passion.
Yeah, we can feel your passion. It's very apparent. And you have a cool vibe. I'm so glad to meet you. The book, again, that we're recommending that you meet Alaine Portner and read her medium memoirs, Messages of Love, Hope, and Reunion. And you proved your point very succinctly here.
Absolutely.
This morning on Ben FM. Rich, thanks for helping out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Any final thoughts, darling?
Thank you for the opportunity to make heaven on earth.